So I just spent 6 months away from normal work, and coming back made me realize again how seriously wrong things are in the workplace. American work culture is basically just a competition to see who can be the most miserable, and they wear it like it's a badge of honor. People constantly brag about being tired, waking up early, working nonstop, like that somehow makes them a better person. And I think the only things that keep this sick, unjust, corporate American system alive is the comfort and the materialism. People are taught that if you work really hard, you follow all the rules, stay inside the system, it makes you inherently good. Take a minute to think how crazy that sounds. And this all ties back to the brainwashing we received in public schools. Niche broke this down perfectly with his idea of slave morality. If you're not familiar with Nietzsche's slave morality, I'm not going to go too into this video, but you definitely need to look into it. It's very interesting, and it really defines our time and the time we live in and the way people talk and the way people do things. They tell you, be a good boy, do your homework on time, study for your test. Then the teacher might give you a good grade. Doing that works really well in school, but in the real world, it doesn't work too well. You really do have to think outside the box and be responsible for yourself. Yeah, you might be able to land a $60K a year salary office job from doing that, or you just work your life away. Maybe you get 1 or 2 weeks of vacation a year. But I mean, you see the people that do that stuff and truly how miserable they are and how they constantly have to cope with their lives and pretend that it's not horrible from doing stuff like that. Just imagine giving your whole life away for just comfort. And the sad thing is that extreme comfort is very uncomfortable. The true deep sadness you feel in your soul as a man when you don't push yourself will just rot you. And the thing is, money is good. I am not saying money is bad. Money is awesome, especially if you live in the US. Even though the US dollar is declining, it's still the standard. I mean, money is a tool. It's supposed to help you live your life, but your sole purpose in life should not just be to make more money, have more security. Oh, I have another 100,000 in my account just in case something happens. Like, you gotta live, man. You gotta use that money. It's good to maybe have some money put away for security, but I mean, you got to use it for something, man. And there's no shame in working hard at all. Being able to work hard it's a very positive trait, but you can't become a slave to it. You can't get lost in the sauce, because that's when it starts ruining your health, your relationships, and that's what's actually matters. Like, really take a minute and look into your life and what are the best things in life. It's not what you have, it's who you have. It's how you feel. That's what matters. I could care less. I own almost nothing. I have a work truck, I have an apartment, I have a computer, I have a smartphone, and that's all I have. There's nothing anyone could take from me. My health and my relationships are the most important thing there is. And when I didn't have a job for 6 months, I kind of worked on my own and just traveled. I noticed a lot of, especially older people in my family, were a little bit concerned. They were questioning me, and I appreciate that they care. This is not to rag on them at all. This is just how they think. Immediately, the questions were, where are you going to work? What are you going to do next? What is your plan? And I'm thinking to myself, why do I need to worry about that? I have enough skills. I have plenty of cash. I'm not going hungry. And I'm perfectly fine. There's nothing to worry about, and there's no reason for anyone to waste their time worrying about me. But I do appreciate it. One thing I notice is if you really get lost in the sauce with these corporate style jobs, your yearly salary just becomes your entire identity. I mean, I used to think this way, but now I look at it as kind of kooky and crazy, having your whole life's value just tied to a number on the top of your W-2. And when you really get out of the box you've been in your whole life, you realize there's so much more to life than that. Go travel to some of these third world countries. Some are worse than others. Maybe don't go to Africa. Maybe don't go to India. But like I've mentioned in my old videos, I was in the Philippines for almost 2 months. And you see a lot of people there are way, way happier than us Americans. And they don't really have much. A lot of them just kind of hang out with their families, smoke some cigars, drink some whiskey, and relax, play sports, and sit in the sun. And honestly, that's a pretty cool life when you think about it. People go to work tired all the time. They hate their life, and all their time off is spent complaining about their work. And somehow that's just normal. It's almost like they find so much comfort in being miserable and just being a good slave. I mean, the United States is an amazing country, but like I said, if you stay here, you will get completely indoctrinated into this way of thinking, and it will be around you constantly. It's all people talk about, especially in places where I live, like Western PA, where there really isn't much to do. Beautiful place, but especially during the winter months, there isn't much to do, and a lot of people are very consumed by work here. And to be fair, it is a great place to work. You can make pretty solid money if you have some skills and live pretty cheap. But the most alive you'll ever feel is when your life isn't predictable. When you really don't know what you're going to be doing in 2 or 3 days, when you don't know what you're going to see, you don't know what people you're going to meet. It's just quite an awesome experience. The best experiences in life, they aren't completely free, but they're usually pretty cheap. And I'll tell you this, 6 months off in your 20s or early 30s is worth so much more than 5 years off in your 60s. And I really do believe that, because when you're younger, you actually have energy, you have curiosity, you have the ability to experience life fully. That time isn't the same later on when you just had knee surgery and your back is chronically sore and you can't get a boner anymore. I mean, life would really suck without a boner, wouldn't it? And I see this all the time. People spend their lives working, slaving, and they never learn how to actually develop as a person. And then they retire and they're bored, so they go back to work. After they're already retired. Think about how ironic that is. People have nothing better to do, nothing to look forward to, so they get a job at a grocery store out of boredom. That is truly sad. I believe as men, like, we'd love to do projects in our yard, like build a fence and work with power tools, chop wood and stuff. But going and getting a job at a grocery store when you don't really need it, just to get away with your old, nagging, saggy skin wife at 70 years old, that is just not a life to strive for. And I do not, if that's the life that I'm going to live, I wish to be gone before then. And the reality is something can happen at any time. You can have an accident, a serious injury, and your life changes instantly. At that point, you're not thinking about your financial stability. You're thinking about when you're going to be able to walk again. And like I said, working hard isn't the problem. Working forever without actually living, that is the biggest problem there is here. There needs to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And that light cannot be when you're 65 years old collecting Social Security. The only thing that there really is to look forward at 65 is playing with your potential grandkids. Besides that, is it really worth it? The goal should be simple. Work to live, not work to stack infinite money and security that you don't need. You don't need a $600,000 house and 3 cars. Your kids don't need a $200,000 inheritance. They need you, brother. So how do you actually break yourself out of this? Well, the first thing you have to do is you really have to crack down and control your expenses. If you can live with your family, do it. If not, you have to find some sort of cheap living situation. Whether it's a small apartment, a trailer, whatever keeps your monthly costs low. Because if your lifestyle is overly expensive, you're going to be stuck working and you're not going to be able to get out. Second, you need to find a way to learn a real skill. whether that's a trade, whether that is sales, things like cutting hair, stuff like that. I like trades. I think trades is the perfect thing to get into because not many people want to do them. And if you're good at talking and you could do sales as well, that's a powerful combo. Because you can always go work for a company at any time and make good money, but you can also go off on your own and do your own work. If you have like a work truck, get some beater truck, eventually down the line, of course. Do not start off doing this. But yeah, you might have to start at a job that doesn't pay great, preferably a trade. That's fine. Go in, be a sponge, learn everything you can. Study it on your own time until you truly understand that craft. Then take that skill, level up, job hop if you need to, take time off if you can, and just keep improving. Eventually, at some point, once you're in it a couple years, you truly won't need that job anymore. If you know what you're doing, you can pivot and try taking on some work independently. There's apps like the Nextdoor app. There's people on it all the time asking, hey, I need a guy to come fix my fascia. I have a shingle that fell off. Stuff like that. I'm sure HVAC and, we had crazy winter storms this year, so snow removal, just stuff like that, guys. Social media is another great opportunity. If you have a creative mind, you have to use it. Don't go into it with the goal of making money. Just create something that actually speaks to you, like me. And maybe at some point, I'll be able to monetize this channel. Maybe not. I don't know. We're in the very early stages, but we will see, brother. Use all of this to try to build yourself as much freedom as possible. And yeah, there's going to be times where you have to grind, like me right now. Maybe you work a standard 9-to-5 job for a year, maybe a year and a half. That's fine. You just have to keep it controlled. Do not get stuck into it. Do not tie yourself down to things that you truly don't value. Like things that I really don't value too much are expensive houses, fancy cars, eating out all the time. I feel like those things just trap you. You got to cook your food, take care of your body, live below your means, keep your life simple, and keep your cortisol low. Buy a cast iron skillet, an air fryer, a crock pot, get some steak, some chicken, some rice, some fruit. To really execute this properly, about 90% of your meals should be home cooked. Freedom isn't cheap, and it's built on discipline and skill. But if you can do it right, you don't have to wait till the end of your life to actually live it. You guys can live it now.